Yes, welcome everyone here to the Smash Board Show right here on Smash FM here on a Wednesday here in Melbourne, because let's go up to our friends up in Queensland, and we're heading back to my hometown up there in Queensland, because we're heading to the Fraser Coast and speak to the and especially heading to Hervey Bay. And of course, been to one of the clubs that I was associated up there in Hervey Bay, because that is the Hervey Bay Bombers, and of course their women's team actually won the Premiership back. Well, it was almost now 4 months ago since they won a Premiership, because it was at home at Annie McLean Oval in Torquay, and of course we got two very special guests to tell us a bit about it. Thanks both for joining us.
Thanks for having us, Will.
Thanks for having us.
No worries. Well, I'll get both of you to introduce yourselves firstly, and tell us a bit about the season.
Yeah, my name is Claude. I was coaching the women's team this year.
Yeah, I'm Tiana, and I played in the women's team. So, yeah, really, really exciting.
Yeah, we kind of had a pretty rough start to the season. We had our first loss. I think for 3 years they've been undefeated, the women's team. So they won 3 years straight when myself and my assistant coach Nick took over. So it was a bit of an eye-opener, but it was a good start to put all the expectations away and get the season running. And awesome that we got home with the chocolates at the end of the season, beating an undefeated team.
So this is the fourth straight Premiership in a row. Correct. In one of the most successful club in Queensland by far, and I know that for a fact, being there myself. Obviously, not just the women's, but now also the men's, and now the women's have combined for quite a lot of premierships there at Bomberland. Tell us a bit about, I guess, how was the title defence? I guess, were you happy throughout the rest, like the season, how it all panned out?
It was hard. Obviously, this is my first year coaching, coming into a team, as I said, with undefeated 3 premierships straight in a row. Didn't really know how to expect what to expect, I guess. But I thought watching some games last year, the level of play has increased to another level. So it was really difficult. We didn't take any game for granted at all. Every team was really competitive, and yeah, it got to even said to the grand final where we won by 2 points, which is really down to the wire. But yeah, the competition just keeps growing and growing, and I think the women's team especially had set a precedence for our football club. Kind of coming into knowing it, new to that football club myself. Just an unbelievable culture they've had and the history they've had, but especially the women carrying the club the last few years, as it hadn't been much senior success. But after this year, but I think, yeah, it's been fantastic. And I think it's just going to get harder and harder. So just going to have to keep trying to evolve them and improve their game.
Now, the one thing I love about the Hervey Bay Bombers, especially during my 5 years up there, is that it's a very community-orientated and very family-based club. Is that how both of you have seen it throughout this season, but I'm assuming your time there at the Bombers?
Yeah, 100%. You know, we encourage everyone to come down. We have a lot of new girls, especially in the women's team, coming down this year especially. So, you know, we all sort of nurture them and get them up and going. And then, you know, you look back in the crowds and there's little toddlers running around, and you sort of give the little eyes off and they look after them, and then you go off again, and yeah, everyone looks after each other. It's great. Yeah,
it's a really good family-orientated club. Always, as I said, I welcome you with open arms, and so it starts from the top, from the club, from the presidents down to the committee and everything like that. So they've really, and also the whole club in general. People come back and give back to the club after they've been playing there, or have had family who've come through there. So yeah, it's a really awesome welcoming club, and it's awesome to have people coming from rugby codes or netball and wanting to actually give AFL a crack. So it's really awesome to see that in Queensland in general. So being a Melbourne boy, but seeing that in Queensland is fantastic, and yeah, hopefully it keeps growing.
Tell us a bit about the grand final. It was a night game, I believe. They're at home. They're at Annie McLean Oval. Tell us, how surreal was the grand final? And considering you mentioned it was a 2-point ball game at the end.
Yeah, it was very nerve-wracking going into it. That was sort of because of COVID last year. It's only my second year playing, so it was my first real proper grand final. So for me, it was a whole next level of footy, and you sort of, you know, you think this is why we do it. But yeah, I'll tell you what, in that last quarter, I was counting down. I was counting down the minutes. I was asking the water boys every time, how long? But yeah, just the feeling of success afterwards was it was incredible.
Yeah, coaching I think is different to played in one school grand final, but never a club. To compare it to coaching, it's just a really different feeling. The stresses come with it too. But yeah, you kind of, I said, you zone out. You don't really remember much at times. But yeah, it was just an unreal atmosphere. There's so many parts of the game you can just remember glimpses that changed how it ended up being. And I think me and our assistant coach went a little bit early when we kicked probably a game-winning goal. But yeah, the other team, we had only a few minutes left on the clock, but the other team got one back, so we started to sweat a little bit. But yeah, no, it was unreal. It was one of the best things I've been a part of, and to have it at our home ground, especially in twilight, was with our whole club supporting us, is especially in a nail biter, it was one of the best feelings I've been a part of. So.
And that's definitely one of those things. I just remember at 3/4 time, pretty much the whole club was out on the field with us girls. We were just all in that huddle, and yeah, it gives me goosebumps even just thinking about it now. But cool. It was incredible to see. So
I know how vocal the crowd can be down there at the Bombers. Experienced it myself for quite a long time. How important was that home ground advantage on the day?
Oh, it was game changer. Yeah, 100%. Look, I knew we were confident that we'll get the job done anyway. There's a few games I said we lost to them both. They were the only team we lost to. But one, we had short players, and then the other one, yeah, we cooked really inaccurately, which we dominated. But you know, that's part of footy. You know, at the end of the day, we lost, and the only game that mattered was the last one. So having that home crowd advantage too, and as Tiana just mentioned, like, yeah, 3/4 time, you know, we're just keeping them positive, and then had the whole club coming around us in the 3/4 time huddle when we're just giving our speech. Yeah, it just, I was going to say, if that doesn't get you up and going to win the game, then yeah, that's pretty unfortunate. But it was unreal. The crowd is quite vocal, I'll give it that. But in a Goodham, at times it's a bit like, oh, just calm down a little bit. But oh no, I wouldn't trade it at all. And it did enhance it as if you were, you know, whether you're not saying you're at the MCG in a AFL final, but yeah, just having them in the back, just screaming is unreal. Is really good.
Obviously, been a 2-point ball game. Normally I ask, when do you feel that you got a chance to enjoy the moment? Because obviously it was a 2-point game, so I'm not going to ask that question. But the question I want to ask is, where was the ball when the siren went?
I think it was their back flank. Oh no, our back flank. Or our forward flank. I can't remember. But yeah, I think it pinballed around a little bit, and then we ended up kicking a dead ball towards our forward pocket. So I think it was in our forward half at the end. So yeah, we knew that was it. So
I think I remember too, though, like a lot of us girls, we sort of, when the siren went, we all looked around and we're like, did we win? And then we were like, yay! It was sort of that moment because we knew how close it was, and you know, we'd kick one and then they'd kick the following, and yeah, it was just a 2-point win. So we were we couldn't believe it.
I have to ask, who did you end up versing in the grand final?
Across the Waves, so Bundaberg team.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were undefeated all year, that one. So yeah, they were really good. They were a really good team. So yeah, next year is going to be at another level from all teams with the competition, I think. So yeah, definitely taught us some things early on. So we hopefully know how to prepare a bit better for the coming season.
I know for a fact that Hervey Bay and ATW across the ways have a huge rivals. One of the best, fiercest rivals I've ever been involved in when I was up there. I guess how much of an emphasis, especially in grand finals, was there any mention at all about the rivalry between Hervey Bay and ATW to yourselves on grand final week?
Not really, I don't think. We just kept to ourselves. We just focused on getting the job done. If it was probably Bay Power, there might have been a little bit being across town rivals. But I think anything with the Bundaberg teams in general, we got rivalries. It's a smaller comp, so we're playing them consistently. So, but no, we all just respected each other. I think we knew what the game was going to be like. We knew it was going to be tough. So we just focused on getting our we're playing our game and hopefully just coming away with the win. So which we did.
Yeah. And I think as well, you know, they sort of set the bar being undefeated for the season, and that sort of made us really sort of step up our game a little bit more and said, well, you know, we've come this far, we've got to sort of make it to the final and get that win. So we stepped up, and I think all the girls played amazingly. So
I have to ask, who got to hold the Premiership Cup first?
I think it was our captain, wasn't it? Yeah, it was our captain, Brooke, I'm pretty sure, from memory. So, yeah, she got to hold it, and, the whole team ran straight across it. But, as deserved, she was unbelievable. She deserved to hold it. She deserved to be the first person to hold that cup. And I've said to her herself, and even at the BNF night a couple of weeks ago, I think it was, probably up there with one of the best captains I think I've been a part of in men's football, even in general. So, to have someone like that, even in the women's club, is pretty spectacular. So, yeah, she deserved to carry that cup first.
How long did both of you wear your medals around your necks for, and did either of you sleep with it?
Yeah, I think from the moment it went on the next day, it just came off for a shower.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember me sleeping with it, but I definitely did flaunt it for a day or two after. So it was pretty good.
The other question is, now I know you're not supposed to do this during COVID times, but did either of you get to kiss the Premiership Cup in any stage?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. There's some videos and fit photos of it.
a few beers were drunk out of it too. So
yeah.
As deserving.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
One of the perks of being in a rural town, I suppose, well, semi-rural town for that sort of stuff. Yeah. So, yeah.
And Queensland in general.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yes. If we're in Melbourne, it would not be happening.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I have to ask, what made this team so special?
I think throughout the years, as I said to the girls, I said it from early on when we did have a few losses. I think it's going to be the best premiership you guys will win. If depending on how a lot of them had played in all four, a lot of them had barely, as Tiana said, she technically hadn't played in one due to COVID last year. There's a lot of new players in, but yeah, I said to a lot of the senior players that had played a number of years that this is probably the hardest year. And this is probably the best premiership you win due to the diversity of it, the spanner in the works that came with it too. There's a lot of challenges, and as I said, good opposition. They challenged us, and if you really wanted it, you'd have to really work your ass off. And at the end of the day, I said it's bittersweet to win even just by 2 points at the end of it. So yeah, it was pretty awesome. And a lot of them now say that, oh yeah, I could definitely even speak to them 4 months on. They're like, yeah, actually it's the best flag I've been a part of. So that's really cool to know and be with it too.
Yeah. I just think, all the girls, we all knew our jobs and just getting around each other. I think, we had a couple of bonding things outside of the footy scene, and it just, everyone, we all got along, which was really good, and loved to be a part of everything. So
I know it's 4 months since that grand final. Number one, has it sunk in yet? And number two, when's pre-season starting up again?
It has sunk in. It has sunk in. It's really cool to just look back on it as well. I was thinking about it the other week, a couple of weeks ago, like just trying to remember highlights of it, because I said, like, we're just in the moment as coaches, not really take it. You're trying to take everything in, but you just focus on the job, and that's the only thing you can think about. So, but we've sunk in, and it's one of those things I'll always remember and cherish. But at the end of the day, we kind of are ready for next season now. So we'll probably be getting started with pre-season probably around November time, I'd say. But I hope some of the girls are getting fit now, because it does get quite hot up here. So
yes.
We'll probably start around November, I'd say.
There's been chat in the group, there's been chat in the girls group of starting in October, and we're sort of all keen just to start to get a bit of fit. As Claude found out playing his first game as seniors, it's really hot up here.
I said, you're used to playing in 16 degrees, which is sunny, and it's burning hot there, compared to hits in the mid-20s to 30s, especially for the women's that we're playing with. They were playing in the 30-degree heat, so credit to them. It's pretty ridiculous, but yeah, it's awesome that they can do that.
So how did both of you get involved in footy and why did you choose it?
I got into it. I used to, when I'm from Brisbane originally, and I did sports training stuff with an AFL team down there, just a university team, and then moved up to Hervey Bay for a job and didn't really know anyone. So I thought, what better way than to join an AFL club? And that was the first sort of game that I've ever played and how I got involved and met so many great people. And that's basically why I'm still here as well, is the people that I've met through footy.
Yeah, I started when I was, I think, 14 through school football, and then joined the local club, pretty much affiliate club with the school. Played there till I moved from Melbourne a couple of years ago up to Hervey Bay. I was playing at St Bernard's down there in Essendon. Then, yeah, moved up here and was supposed to be playing last year with the seniors, but I had an injury, so I missed out the whole year. But, yeah, put my hand up to coach the girls and played as well this year with the men's. And, yeah, we had an undefeated season, won the flag too. So it was pretty, I think everyone from, under 12s all the way to seniors and the women's, we won everything we can win. Yeah. So it was unbelievable. It was an absolute clean sweep. So you don't really get that anywhere. Yeah. No, it was cool. It's been, I didn't know how to feel with transitioning from one club where you've been there for, 9-10 years or whatever it is. And then feeling comfortable to move into another local team. But yeah, this club's been really homely and like a family too. So yeah, it's been amazing to be a part of, and so anything we can do to chip in and help out, I think give back to it as well would be fantastic.
You mentioned that you play and coach. Obviously you play for the men's, coach for the women's. What have you learned from coaching that you've taken to your playing?
I think a bit of empathy and knowing that everyone's different. You can't be too hard on some people because they take it differently as well. So they process it. They can use it as a negative feedback, or they can use it as fuel for themselves. Yeah, I think it was important as well. I took a step back into playing so I can enjoy it more. If I still stuck in that coaching mode, I think, yeah, I would have been perceived probably wrongly in the team. Not only that, but maybe myself, put that pressure on myself. But I think it just took the pressure off, me coming back into playing and got to enjoy the game itself. So yeah, it was really fun to be part of that, and then still have the success with the girls. And they taught me a lot of things as well. So how to be around them, handle 20, 22, 24 young and old women, which is fantastic. And it was, yeah, probably the best thing I've ever done. So hopefully, yeah, we can do it again next year.
I know this is going to be the most silliest question I'm going to ask, but what will be some highlights throughout both your football journey so far?
There's a weird highlight that our first game, we had 14 players turn up to play the game, this was the first game we lost. That was a bit of a wake-up call, I think. I'd say that's a highlight because it shaped us in the end of the season. Okay. I think winning some close games, having some really unbelievable, I think, clean four-quarter games as well, which got us through to the finals, and winning the flag, I think that was definitely one of them. But yeah, I think the team bonding as well, being having the girls all kind of form as as friends and with the team, and accept us coaches as well to be part of that family too. I think that was a really big highlight with the season with the women's for myself.
I think one of my biggest highlights as well, like not personally, but to watch the younger girls who have never played a game of footy in their life come and just blossom, and they're outstanding. And even like for myself, only playing for 2 years, you can see the difference in the girls, and just when they get that confidence and they do that little bit more, it's really cool to see. And then a couple of personal highlights, just kicking goals all the time. Yeah. No, not all the time. But just kicking a couple of goals is always a highlight for me. So yeah. I think from never playing and having such great coaches, it was good for myself. I learned a lot about myself and the game, and bring on next year, I say.
Yeah, I'll add to that as well with seeing those younger girls. I think from young and old, I think some of them really with skill work and stuff, but seeing how dedicated and devoted they were to wanting to improve their game was phenomenal. And even being able to coach with a good mate of mine. So yeah, that was a pretty good highlight to have, and we kind of hold this forever, I think. So yeah.
And the celebrations after, you know, after winning a grand final, it's the victory celebrations, and then, you know, the sort of team breakup party, I suppose you could say, which was just, it was awesome. And again, you know, getting to know the girls on a more personal level, just in playing sport with them. So that was really cool.
What are your advice to people that should get involved in footy, especially down near the best club in the land at the moment?
Do it. Go for it. You know, you've got nothing to lose and everything to gain. You know, especially if you come to a club like the Bombers, you know, you're always welcome in open arms, and yeah.
Yeah, I think, yeah, definitely, as Tiana said, and use it as a good social platform too, to meet new people, get out and be active, and try something new. There's a lot of people have changed codes, or like myself, came to the club because, yeah, I was new to town and wanted to meet some new friends and new people. So it's such a good social family and a good social atmosphere around there. And yeah, I don't think you can go wrong in any sport, even if it's not through AFL. I think AFL has been fun and it's awesome, and they're promoting it more now through schools. But even if it's through any other sport, I just encourage people to get out there and join up and get active and be a part of a good club and a good team.
Now, we'll finish on a couple of lighthearted questions about the team. Firstly, who had the most embarrassing moments on the field this season, or what was it?
I'd say probably close to, I think Tiana might be up there from my end. Actually, yeah, she probably was best on ground that game, but she got, she copped her. She busted her ankle, busted her hand, and then I think she got a couple hits to the head too, and she just looked like she's not in good sorts. That was a pretty good moment, pretty funny moment. There's a couple as well. Like, I think we had some of the toilets. We had to use some of the. We didn't have any access to rooms, so some of the girls had to, find their ways to sort themselves out around. That was pretty funny. Not that I was there, but that's from what I've heard.
Yeah. Few trees.
Poor buggers.
That's on our way down. We're going down to Gympie, so it was an hour and a bit bus drive. And pull over. So,
regional. What do you do?
What do you do though?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'd say as well. Said like, yeah, there might have been a few falcons and head knocks here and there, but yeah, I can't really think too much now.
I think just as a general rule as well, like all the photography, they definitely know how to get out of angles. Said no one ever. We're a mean bunch of girls when you look at the photos.
Yeah, not a pretty sight to see sometimes.
No, you look and you go, do I really look like that?
Who's the comedian, the best singer, the best dancer on the team?
I think Gracie Finn is probably up there.
Yeah, she's up there with the comedic value. She's always getting everyone to laugh. Lauren Anderson is also up there. Yeah. She's a good chick.
You can't have a dull moment with her. She's hilarious.
As for the singing, I think on the bus trip home from Gympie, it was everyone all in.
It's pretty rough.
Julie Lewis has a mention there too, actually.
Yeah, one of the committee members. One of our helpers as well. She's she's got a good voice on her.
Yeah.
I don't know, dancing, probably say maybe Claire or Dre. Oh, Claire, maybe even Gracie herself too. Actually, she doesn't mind a boogie. So yeah, she's good fun.
Any pre-game superstition or ritual by either of you?
Have to wear the same underwear. Same sports bra, same underwear. Clean, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a pre-game. I think me and my assistant coach we'd we wake up in the morning and kind of gauge on what we're feeling. We got these. We had good suspicions of. We get up in the morning, if it's feeling like it's a good day, whatever it is, we just tell each other quietly, and then we'll see how the day turns out. And pretty likely worked out well. Yeah, I don't know. I think, yes, I wore a few flamboyant shorts, which I like to change it up a little bit. So that was pretty funny. The assistant coach, Nick, he he had to stick to the same thing. I think he has same undies, same shorts, same socks. It's ritual. Yeah, it's ritual. It's ritual. Yeah, if he changes it, like that was it, game over. So, yeah, that's probably it, I think, from that end.
Yeah.
Any good nicknames in the team we should know about?
Well, in the team there was about 4 T's. So if you yelled out T, you get half the team.
Yeah,
Wow.
that was pretty.
Yeah.
Everyone's
so
names were
T, you go what? Yeah.
They're all different names. I think they're all different names.
Yeah.
Everyone had different names, but just too many T's, and you're like, oh, how do I shorten this? So you don't. I don't even know.
Stock standard though, really. There's nothing really outrageous, really.
Yeah, there's nothing clanny like the boys. But I think maybe next year we probably could have a couple.
Have to come up with
couple,
someone.
coming up. So yeah, we'll see if they can get around that.
All right.
Give themselves some. So we'll wait and see.
I know with a lot of footy clubs in particular, there is a fine system. Did you have a fine system this year? And who copped the most fines and what was the strangest fine?
Who copped the most fines? I'd have to think it would be Lauren Anderson for just not rocking up at training here, there and everywhere.
Yeah, she did what she wanted, but
yeah. In terms of strangest fine, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not really sure, to be honest.
I wasn't in charge of the fine system. That was the captain's. I just paid my fines if I needed to.
Yeah, look, I was oblivious to most of this stuff. So I think that was just done between the girls themselves. But
we definitely had one of the fines was if you said sorry at a training session, there's no sorries. It's just you just keep moving on and be better. So there was a lot of the sorries thrown around and a lot of fine, that's a fine, you're fined.
Yeah, I reckon if I was part of it, I think I would have copped probably the most fines for talking too much. I think so. The girls would probably say that. They'd probably tell me to hurry up and shut up and wrap it up. So. I'd say probably if I was part of it, I probably would have been the worst off.
Thank you so much for giving up your time to join us. It's awesome to finally reunite with my old club again back at Hervey Bay. And obviously, congratulations on the win and obviously continues the great Premiership success down there at the Bomberland, down at Annie McLean Oval. And best luck for next season. Hopefully, we're going for number 5 in 2022.
Thanks, Will. Yeah, fingers crossed, mate. Thanks for having us. And fingers crossed when you're up, mate. You can we'll give you a jumper or give you some merch to get back and support the club. So hopefully see you soon up here, mate. Thanks for your time.
No worries. And of course, if you want to get involved with the Hervey Bay Bombers, of course, one of the best clubs, I can highly recommend that, being there myself in the past years. Of course, we'll put all the details up. Or if you're in Hervey Bay, of course, you can get down to Annie McLean Oval at Raywood Road in Torquay, just behind the swimming pool. There's more on the Smash Sport Show right after this. Don't go away here on the 10th year celebration.